Time to do some upgrades on my metal bender. This is what I made a few months ago. There's a couple of little things I don't like about it, and it's not a bad little tool, not a shop tool. You can make it fairly easily in your own workplace, but there's some things that I would like to do to it just to improve it. Okay, let's talk about some of the negative sides of it. What I did was I painted it. I used some 2-pack paint just to protect from rust, and that's probably not a great thing because it is a contact face down through here, and I have removed the paint that I put onto here, and that was a bit of a silly idea, so I ground that off, and I want to do the same to other parts of this bender just because it chips off and makes it look ugly. Second thing is this top, what do you call it, that top surface, that clamp, it will bend minutely. So it'll clamp down at the edges. You can see the two ends have got the clamps on them. So that clamps, it's got good clamping pressure there at the ends, but in the middle it lacks clamping pressure. And it tends to get a little bit wayward in the middle on heavier materials. I need to put some sort of brace on it. Okay, and I've seen Phil Vanderlei in his videos, very good video of his bender, and he's put a brace on it, and he's doing some quite wide sheets. Whether I need to brace the bottom or not, bending arm, this one here, I'll find out, I'll work that out, but it's just one step at a time. Now the other one is the fore-aft movement. Let me just put this camera in the tripod. One of the good things about this bender is the ability for it to go fore-aft, so you can change the thickness of the material, but it's a bit of a pain to get it locked in. So you've got to find the right spot on the right hand side and clamp it down to where you want it. So that one needs banging over a little bit. Get a hammer.
Pinch you on the side of the hinge, you probably can't see that.
This one's tight. This one's being a bugger. But to get it in the right spot, clamp it down. Get this other one in the right spot. Clamp it down. And then bend away. You can already see some of the paint flaking off there. So that's a bit of a pain. What I'd like to do is be able to adjust that in and out just by a bit of threaded rod. So that's one of the modifications I'd like to do. Then the other obvious one is using a spanner on the nut here. I'd just like to be able to do it fairly easily. You could probably clamp it down like with a cam. That's starting to get a bit complex though. I want to try and keep this simple. Using a strip disc. Okay, so I'm at the part now where I want to design and make the mechanism to adjust this forwards and backwards in line with this here, depending on the thickness of the metal and if I've got any slippers in here. I don't want anything that's going to permanently attach. I want to be able to remove this easily. I want to keep this simple. So I've come up with just a little mechanism that looks something like that. I'm going to make a bushing now, but first I need to face this part off here in the lathe. Probably going a bit fast for that drill.
At 1 PM on RN or anytime on the ABC Listen app.
Hi, you're on Radio National. I'm Amanda Vanstone. Join cartoon of Serena Williams. Joining me now is
in the world, and they have worked.
I'm saying ciao ciao.
The Prime Minister Scott Morrison speaking.
Got to stop it from flopping over. I'm just thinking about putting the center A-frame brace in here now. If I put it at an angle in line with this face here, there's a chance that when I tension it, it's going to bow the middle out ever so slightly if it's in that plane there. But if I make it like that plane, same with the tension bolts there, it's going to push it down at the back, but it's still an acting down force. The only limitation is if I wanted to do a 45-degree bend, I can only do something it's going to be stopped by this part here, so that's a limitation. But it's very rare that I'm going to do a 45-degree bend, I think. So here's something I haven't done before. I'm about to do some a trial mill on some flat steel here. This is 6mm mild cold rolled steel. So I've got a 4mm 4-fluted carbide tipped bit there, and I'm going to try and cut out the spanner for my metal folder. put a bend in that so it clears that bar. So what I've found is that the bender itself actually does flex. You can see right there it has got a minor amount of flex in it, so it does need some bracing, and I'm going to have to do that later. So here's a better picture of that flex, and that piece there is 600 millimeters long, so I needed a bit of extra bracing in the middle. Here I am making some slippers. There's 3 slippers there, and all they do is increase the radius of the bend, and it shows a good use of the adjusters at the back there. Makes life a lot easier. So you can see the big radius. Tighten them both up and then pull down the center. That's nice and straight. Put some center tension on it. Let's see how we go. So far so good. Just going to put this clock kit in now.
Handle on all the important things in life. Weekday mornings from 9 or anytime.
Time to wrap up the video now. I really hope that you found some useful tips and tricks in the video, and some improvements that you might be able to do on your own bender at home. Just like to say thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you next time.